During World War II, food shortages forced farmers and military planners to experiment with soil in ways that, honestly, modern agriculture rarely talks about. Hidden in old field manuals and agricultural reports is a simple idea that dramatically increased harvest yields, improving soil structure rather than just adding nutrients. This wasn't about miracle chemicals. It was about understanding how carbon-rich material, minerals, and microbial life work together to turn weak ground into living soil. What makes this story powerful is that the same principles later caught the attention of manufacturing companies looking for stronger materials, better filtration systems, and even industrial absorbance. Today, we're digging into how this forgotten soil method doubled wartime harvests and why its influence spread far beyond farming. How wartime farmers discovered that structure mattered more than fertilizer. Many World War II farmers realized that dumping fertilizer onto exhausted soil only gave short-term results. What they needed was soil that could hold water, oxygen, and nutrients at the same time. The secret was adding carbon-based material like charred organic matter, wood ash, and mineral dust to improve texture and microbial balance. These additions created tiny pockets in the soil that trapped moisture while allowing roots to breathe. Yields improved because plants didn't struggle during dry spells or heavy rain. A practical way to apply this idea today is by mixing small amounts of biochar or finely crushed charcoal into compost before adding it to garden beds. The goal isn't to replace nutrients, but to give the soil a structure that keeps nutrients available longer. Why carbon-rich soil became valuable beyond agriculture. Manufacturing companies later became interested in similar carbon materials because of their ability to absorb moisture, odors, and chemicals. Activated carbon, which shares some characteristics with wartime soil additives, is now used in water filters, air purification systems, and industrial processing. The same porous structure that helped roots thrive also made these materials valuable for trapping unwanted particles. For a survivalist or, a history enthusiast, this connection shows how agricultural innovation often spills into technology. Understanding soil from a structural perspective helps explain why industries invest heavily in carbon-based materials today. What made these soil techniques double harvests under harsh conditions? Wartime growers weren't chasing perfect soil. They were building resilience. By combining organic waste, charcoal residue, and mineral-rich dust, they created a medium that retained nutrients even when supplies were scarce. Plants developed deeper roots because the soil stayed loose rather than compacted. This translated into stronger growth cycles and more reliable harvests. One practical way to use this knowledge is to layer organic matter beneath the topsoil rather than leaving it exposed. Over time, it breaks down slowly, feeding microorganisms that maintain soil health season after season. So, how can modern gardeners and survival growers actually apply those same principles today? Well, you don't need wartime equipment to use these methods, not at all. Start by improving soil texture before you even think about splashing out on expensive fertilizers. Mix compost with small amounts of crushed charcoal or wood ash and let it rest for a few weeks, just so microorganisms can settle in. When planting, focus on spacing that encourages airflow and root expansion, rather than cramming plants together. Another effective step, is to mulch heavily, which really mirrors the protective layers used during the Second World War to conserve moisture. These simple adjustments, they recreate the conditions that allowed crops to survive those unpredictable climates and limited resources. So, why did this knowledge fade despite its effectiveness? Well, after the war, industrial agriculture shifted toward fast results and standardized chemical inputs. Large-scale farming favored quick nutrient delivery over long-term soil building, and many of the older methods were, unfortunately, labeled outdated. However, historians and regenerative farmers have started revisiting these techniques because, they reduce dependency on constant inputs. The disappearance wasn't due to failure. It was a change in priorities. Understanding this shift helps modern viewers see why revisiting historical practices can reveal solutions hidden in plain sight. The real takeaway from this World War II soil secret isn't just higher yields, it's a mindset. Farmers learned that building a strong foundation created stability during crisis. Whether you're growing food in a backyard garden or studying historical survival strategies, the lesson remains the same. Systems that support themselves over time outperform quick fixes. Applying this approach means thinking about soil as a living structure, not just dirt that holds plants upright. If you value deep historical insights that still have real-world use today, subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who respects old-school knowledge. Every forgotten technique carries a story, and sometimes the past holds the strongest answers for the future.